It's November 2nd. We are back in the garden. Let's see what's going on. So the last time I did a garden update, I believe it was the start of the summer, from spring into summer, and it's now November, and hopefully I will post this video very soon after I've actually shot it. The garden's very dry. It is November. You can see there's some remnants of Halloween decorations going on, and it has been a very dry couple of months. A lot of the succulents are dormant. These ones not so much because there's irrigation going on here. Yeah, not a huge change in the front. It's always a little bit disappointing, but there are some other huge changes going on in the garden that I'm happy to share, and part of the reason I've sort of ignored this part of the garden, aside from being busy. So no major changes, no crazy new plant updates. This part of the yard is nice and fried. All those wildflowers are long gone. And I've yet to do any of the weeding here, but this is where we had all our wildflowers before, and it's just kind of a dry patch, but it's ripe for getting some new plants. I will probably very soon start throwing out some of those wildflower seeds again, because November is when you do it here in California to get ahead of that rainy season. And I also hope that this microphone, I have a new microphone, I'm hoping that it helps reduce some of the road noise that we have, because we're right near a really busy road. And you'll notice, oh, here's a nice big agave pulled out of here. So that's one thing that I have done recently is aside from our little pumpkin king Halloween decoration, I tried to clean up a lot of the agave pups from this really big blue agave Americana, and I plan on giving them away or planting them over there. And you can actually see we are in the middle of a heat wave. It is 80 degrees right now in November, and so unfortunately that's got a little bit cooked. A lot of the plants have gotten really cooked, the ones that aren't getting a lot of direct irrigation. And I think this whole area just needs to be reset. So that's one of my plans. Once I take our decorations down, I'm gonna go and reset a lot of these. So I ended up just pulling a lot of things out, and they're just in a huge pile over there, and they need to be fixed up. It's gone a little wild. Over here, this section where I have planted a lot of the little free cactus and aloes and some agaves that I've had, they're pretty happy. Again, this is an irrigated spot. As you can see, I have some drip irrigation there, and things are just thriving. So I had a lot of these Opuntia cactus, and I had like some TikToks where I show where I just found those on the ground, put them in pots, and they were really outgrowing their pots. They were not happy at all. So now that they're in the ground here, I'm hoping they'll be really happy. So that's one change. Got a little torch cactus there. There's another Opuntia. I'll show you where it is. It's hiding behind our jack-o'-lantern decoration. I've added these. These are little cool solar lights that are really powerful. Really happy with those. They were helping light this up, but I think they'll do a really nice job just like lighting the plants in the garden. One of the lights was on this agave. I'd nearly have to show you how cool it looks at nighttime. Comes in lots of different colors, so that's kind of cool. No major changes here. I'm not sure if I showed this in the last video, but I did start digging up what I want to be my dry riverbed that I've been talking about for going on 2 years. Finally started to try to make it happen, and I've just been busy, and so it's just a kind of a trip hazard right now. But I finally just started putting a lot of plants in here that had been sitting in my propagation station, and I'm hoping that they'll just start to fill in. I had some of these plants, this was here before, and it got chewed up by gophers. I rescued it, and I've put a little gopher basket around it. Hopefully that'll help. But yeah, this all needs to be filled in, and I've added some of these little agaves. They're little now, they might grow quite big. And I have a little bit of nursery over here in the nice shady spot just for things to start filling in. You'll notice, so these aeoniums, they're in the shade, they get irrigation, they're happy and full compared to those ones over there that are just dried up, not so happy. But hey, that's what happens in this garden. Lots of little things I've just like thrown in here because I just felt like it's time for them to be in the garden and not be in pots on the side of my house. So that's what's happening here. Added a lot of little aloes. I had this was like a kind of succulent tapestry, not doing the best, but as you can see, I have a lot of work to do. This is a pile of all the succulents that were just not happy, and I pulled them out in the hopes that I would have time to reset them. So I think my project for the next couple of days is take out the Halloween decorations and fill these in. But that's not even the most major surprise part of what has happened in the yard. This is all hugely unchanged. Big pile of rocks for my path. And there's the other opuntia that was in a pot and it just was not happy. So I'm hoping that now that it's there, it will really start to thrive. And this is a sad little euphorbia that I keep moving because I keep hoping it'll thrive somewhere else. Some more agaves I need to pull out, and then you can see the pile of agaves that I have. Just, I don't know what to do with them. So we'll have to figure that out. And again, it's Halloween here. I need to pick all those up. No major changes here, but here is where we do have major changes. So the last time I showed this part of the yard, we had some huge trees, and now we have cut back almost all of them. We had a tree trimmer come and they cleared out a lot of these bird of paradise. They were just so overgrown, too tall, really hard to manage. We couldn't even trim the leaves. And we removed all these Victorian boxwood trees that were probably planted as hedges years ago. I mean, probably 50 years. They were overgrown, they were not healthy, and it shaded a lot of the yard. And now the beauty of this is we have all this space to grow some more native plants. So we haven't totally decided what we're going to do here yet, but it's exciting to have so much space, and my hope is to transform this into a beautiful drought tolerant native Californian garden. We have lots of space here now from a lot of these bird of paradise that were removed. We might make something fun like a little path to go through here, and this avocado tree is now getting the sunshine it wasn't having before because we really trimmed back a lot of these Chinese elms, and they were kind of, again, probably planted as a hedge, and they were just overgrown. They weren't taken care of. So we cleared out a lot, and we were trying to hope to open it up so you can see these canary date palms. That is sort of the plan. With that, it's looking like a mess because I do need to go back here and clear it up, and our little pile of rubble that had been hidden in the trees is now exposed. So we do have to fix that up. But yeah, it's just really opened up this spot. Now, of course, we did this when we had a heat wave. So a lot of the plants are getting completely fried. So that's one downside. I think a lot of them will survive. It'll be fine, but it's just a little bit of an adjustment. We just really need to clear this up. I've got my little raised bed, tried to put some flowers in there. A lot of them got cooked, but we'll see. Moving around here, no major changes. It just all looks kind of fried. And now this is another major project. So I had a major project in the front yard that I never completed. So I now have another major project on my plate. And apologies for the mess that is my propagation station. But this is another project I just get to work on, fixing this up. The native California garden is not looking the best. It's all gone very fall. I do need to clip it up, clear it out. Unfortunately, it looks like my ceanothus has got some kind of a scale issue, and a lot of these branches are just not thriving. So I'm gonna try and fix that before it goes on to the other ones. But look, I mean, these are really filling in. These were just teeny tiny plants before when we planted them, and now they're finally starting to cascade over this frankly ugly retaining wall. So that is the goal, but I just need to kind of trim everything up, get rid of a lot of these dead branches, and make it look good. I have also reset my little succulent wall. It's looking bad now because I clipped it up and then we had another heat wave. So I do have a video in the works where I showed me working on that, and I'm just going to wait till it fills in a little bit more and looks a little bit better before I share that. And a lot of the clippings here. So many little agaves in my nursery and little cactus. Millions of projects as usual. Lots of little propagation things going on. It's the fruit trees are looking okay. There's no real produce in our raised bed orchards. There's some lemons. A fig tree that has never produced figs. It's a work in progress. We do have a lawn, and we have filled it in with clover in order to save some water and make it look a lot more lush and green, and it has been incredibly effective. This lawn usually at this time of year is like super dead and dry, and the clover has just done wonders. So definitely recommend throwing some clover seed in your lawn if you're looking to save water. Our fire pit, looking happy. Not much to say there. Again, I have plan on sharing how I transformed this area into a fun little fire pit. It was great the end of the summer. It's been pretty hot lately, so when it cools down, that'll be like a fun little evening spot. Not a ton going on here. I've got the little bed. I shared a video of how we fix that up. We've got our cymbidium orchids. And over here, this is one thing I am kind of proud of. It's looking a little cooked right now, but here's a little fountain area with some of my potted tropicals, and it's just like a little chill zone. It's right next to our kitchen, so we get a lot of nice water sound, and I love this banana tree from Costco, and it's just a nice little pretty thing out here. Oh, and we removed a huge tree from here as part of our tree thing. So ocean view. When we got rid of a really big juniper that was just, it was a mess, and it made this place dark and cold, and now we can actually see the sunset. So that was pretty cool. It was in our neighbor's yard, but they were happy for us to remove it. And then over here we've got some roses. I'm trying to rehab more orchid projects, cymbidiums. I'm finally going through and repotting them. Some begonias that are not looking super happy. But yeah, just millions of projects as usual. So now we've come all full circle, and I will show you nothing majorly cool here, but I'm gonna finish on a high because look at these begonias. They're so happy. So this is a begonia Freddy. My mom gave me just like a couple little, I don't know if you can see that, little stumps, stuck it in a pot. They're just thriving. And then this is another kind of begonia that my neighbor gifted me. I mean, what a gift. And they are in full bloom. I just love these things. They make me so happy. They're huge. This is, I mean, okay. I'm gonna say about 3.5 feet tall. It looks like something out of Jurassic Park. I love it. And I think part of the reason they're looking so good is they are big feeders. So I've figured out that they need to be kept in the shade. They do want their soil to stay moist, and they like fertilizer. So that's what I've done. And that is it for the garden in November 2023. Lots of change, but also lots more projects to work on that are ongoing. If you have any questions or just want to say hi, please do put them in the comments below. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe.